What would it be, Ryan the Great? And today we are talking another big move being made in the NBA. Kevin Durant has been traded to the Houston Rockets in a move that, in my opinion, was not so shocking. I believe that Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets was the right move for Kevin Durant and probably, honestly, for the Phoenix Suns. I mean, listen, you weren't going to get much back for Kevin Durant just because, like, I'll explain this more once we get into the video. But as I said before, I think that trading for Kevin Durant, if you're the Houston Rockets, was the best move. I think it was the best fit. If you guys watch my top five list on destinations for Kevin Durant, I had the Houston Rockets as number one. Cole and I discussed it on the CR7 podcast, now on WSJP's YouTube for the rest of the summer, if you guys don't know that. Yeah, so we discussed that. He said Spurs, which I honestly couldn't argue with. I think that they were both good fits. But I said the Houston Rockets, and I think that that's probably the best destination for him. So yeah, we're just going to be talking. We're going to be obviously we're going to break down the trade. We're going to talk about what it means for the Suns, what it means for the Rockets. You guys know the drill. And yeah, then we'll wrap things up for this video. I know this video is coming out after the NBA Finals. And if I'm looking over a bit during this video, it's because I actually have the finals on. And this is I'm literally just started this after Halliburton like hurt his calf. It looked pretty bad. It's I don't know. I pray for him. I saw he was getting very emotional. I was like, I felt that too. Like I felt that injury. Like sometimes you just know when you're hurt like that. But man, you hate to see it. That was such a shame. Like he went down, he started screaming. I felt really bad, honestly. But anyway, pray for him. Even though we know what happens after this video. Finals reaction will probably come out Wednesday, Tuesday. I'll be down the shore or I'll be on vacation down the shore. You guys know we're from Philly people. We like to go down the shore. So from Monday through Thursday, I'll be down, and yeah, we'll probably film a video, something like that. Yeah, I'll probably film a video from there. And yeah, let's just get right into this video. But before we get right into it, guys, make sure you guys subscribe with the post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother in your vlogs. Make sure you go subscribe to my second channel at Run the Combat Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on X or on the RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok at Run the RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. And make sure you guys go follow me on Twitch at Run the Great Podcast. Honestly, instead of Twitch, I should start promoting my Instagram at Ryan Sully Sports Media on Instagram. I'm gonna start doing that. We're gonna start doing that. We're gonna start promoting the Instagram instead of the Twitch. I'll do nothing on Twitch. All right, let's get right into the video. It's crazy how I just decided that. Yeah, let's just get into this video. So starting off, the trade broken by Shams Charania. He's getting like millions and millions of views on his on his tweet. So good for him. But anyway, the Phoenix Suns are breaking. The Phoenix Suns are trading two-time Finals MVP Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the number 10 pick in the 2025 NBA draft, and 5 second-round picks. Sources tell ESPN. So starting off, what does this trade mean for the Phoenix Suns? Well, you were never going to get equal value for Kevin Durant, and I'm going to go on my big screen here to tell you guys why. You're not going to get equal value for Kevin Durant because teams are not going to trade all their assets for a superstar anymore. How many times do I have to say it? We are out of the era in the NBA of big threes, and you need two superstars to win. What you need to win are role players and at least one superstar, role players, and a pretty much complete starting five. And it doesn't have to consist of a superstar. Look at the Thunder right now as I'm watching this game. I mean, like they have one superstar, and then you have guys like Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and stuff like that. You don't need a superstar lineup to win a championship. Teams are finally starting to catch on. I've been saying it for the past 3 years now. We're out of that era in the NBA. Nonetheless, that's why you're not going to get equal value for Kevin Durant, and you're not. And also, it's not that it's just like we're in this new era with superstars. It's also because of the fact that Kevin Durant on his last few teams has not gotten to the conference finals and has not even, let alone, gone to an NBA championship. Like, it hasn't even come close to a championship on the Nets or on the Suns. Now, maybe the Nets is a different story because guys got hurt and stuff like that. But at least on the Suns, like, they had no shot of winning a championship. And obviously leadership problems were brought into the question. I don't really have much of anything to say on that because I'm not in the locker room, so I can't really say anything about it. But nonetheless, I think you guys understand that like you're not going to get equal value for Kevin Durant, and you're never going to get equal value for a superstar in today's NBA. But anyway, getting back to, I just changed my tab. Like, okay, you know what? Um, so anyway, you're not going to get equal value for Kevin Durant. So I think for what the Phoenix Suns got, it's decent, I guess you could say. You have a young star in Jalen Green. Obviously, he looks pretty good in the playoffs. He's either really hot or he's really cold, is what it seems like. It's never in between with him. So he didn't have the greatest playoff performance, but he had a really good regular season. So it kind of depends with him. You never know what you're going to get, which would takes into. I also want to bring up the fact: could they flip him? Could they try to get something out of him? I mean, it would make sense because you're probably going to end up waiting 2 to 3 years to see what he can turn into, and even then, I don't know if he's going to turn into like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander if that comparison makes sense. And also, Devin Booker is 28. If you're trying to win in the next couple of years, Devin Booker's in his prime, and it wouldn't make sense waiting for Devin Booker to become 28 or 30 to 31. Then that's when you're going to start competing. There's just not much of a window there. And Devin Booker's been in the league for 10 years right now, and it just wouldn't make all the sense to, wait for him to develop. But, I mean, they definitely could. I mean, if they want to replace Jalen Green with Devin Booker, that's their problem. Or I'm not saying that's a problem, but, depending on how Jalen Green develops, I guess you just have to wait this year and see. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. Dillon Brooks, I don't think really makes sense for the team. This is the team that has had, they said that locker room problems. Apparently there were fist fights, but Kevin Durant denies that. So who really knows who's telling the truth here? There might not have been fist fights, but there sure was definitely problems in the locker room. So I'm not denying that. But yeah, Dillon Brooks, somebody that is known to cause problems in the NBA. I'm not necessarily saying within the locker room, but it didn't really seem like Memphis wanted him there. I never really heard much about Houston, but it seems like the league overall just doesn't really like him that much. Which, if you're playing as, I wouldn't want to say dirty player, but a more aggressive player, then I guess that's going to happen. But, nonetheless, I don't know. I think you should probably flip Dillon Brooks. His contract isn't that great. But, the salary, you just got rid of Durant's contract, so there's not really much to take. I guess you're not taking on that much salary anymore. I don't know. It doesn't really, it's, I don't know. Anyway, you're gonna have you have the number 10 pick now in the NBA draft. This is supposed to be one of the best drafts in the NBA in recent years. So you can definitely get a young star in the draft. So I think that'll turn out to at least be decent. You can get a pretty decent player in the top 10. So I'm happy with that. And then obviously the 5 second-round picks can be used to be used for like future moves, future trade stuff and stuff like that. So. It's whatever. Nothing's going to turn out from those picks. But overall with the Suns, I think it's a decent trade for what Kevin Durant's value was. I told you guys that Kevin Durant's value was not anything special. I'm still not a fan of Matt Ishbia, the Suns owner, just because he's not a patient guy. Like, he's not willing to wait for guys to develop or a team to develop. He just wants to win now. Which obviously is, what you want to see out of an owner, but he gets like too aggressive with it. Like, trading for Beal and trading for Durant, and you gave up everything for Durant, and that it just wasn't. You can be aggressive. I'm not saying don't, but it's not smart at the end of the day. That is what it is. The Suns are just it's a rebuild now. If you can get off of Beal's contract, that would be absolutely incredible, because then you might be able to build something. The Suns were just in the finals 4 years ago, so that's not that long ago at the end of the day. So if you can somehow get out of Beal's contract, you can definitely sign some guys in free agency and maybe use Booker and Green as your guards. It's not impossible for the Suns to get out of this. You just got to get out of Bradley Beal's contract, which might take a few years, though. I don't know. I've talked about the Suns long enough, but what does this mean for the Rockets, the team that is, getting the superstar here? As I said, you didn't have to give up much for Durant. Obviously, giving up on Jalen Green is, not that great. You gave him a $100 million contract over 3 years. And you were hoping to try and see him develop into a star, or one of the, I guess, on the edge on the cusp of a superstar, whatever you want to call it. I know there's a big debate around that in the NBA. But yeah, you didn't have to give up much for Durant, other than really Jalen Green. So I wouldn't be too sad about it. But the thing is that while you're banking on Jalen Green to become a star, now you give him up, and I'm talking about, well, if he doesn't become a star, well, what if he does? Like, what if he does play really, really well and he turns into one of the better players in the NBA? So, I'm not saying that can't happen. And now you're banking on Alperen Sengun, however you say his name, I'm a big fan, honestly. Like, I love him. For being a smaller center in the NBA, he is able to grab rebounds, average 19 points per game last season. I'm a big fan of him. I think he can definitely turn into a star playing with Kevin Durant. Then you obviously have Amen Thompson, who was on the All-Rookie defensive team last year, and he can score the ball pretty well. And then you have Fred VanVleet, an experienced point guard. Like, you have a pretty good team. Jabari Smith is, a number 2 pick a few years ago, or number 3 pick, or whatever he was. What are you going to do? He's kind of turned into, I wouldn't say bust, but definitely not what we thought he could definitely be. But listen, I love this move for the Rockets. You can have immediate success, possible immediate success, just based off how many teams are in the Western Conference and how fast this team develops into what they could possibly be. You're probably going to have future success because, Sengun will probably be developed, and you'll see if he's a superstar or not. And then you're going to be attracted to free agents just based off of what the Rockets could possibly do. And Udoka's the head coach. I think he's a top 5 coach, at least maybe even top 3 coach in the NBA. I think this is a great move for the Houston Rockets. I'm a big fan of what they're doing here. Bottom line, you didn't have to give up much for Durant. You're probably going to have immediate success and future success. I love this move for the Houston Rockets. And bottom line for the Suns, listen, you got what you got for Durant. Not really much you can do about it. See what Jalen Green can become, or flip him. There's only really 2 options there. But yeah, I think that this is a great move for the Rockets. It's decent for the Suns. I think people clowning the Suns of not getting a million first-round picks for Kevin Durant. They just, I don't want to say they don't understand how the NBA is going, but I guess you could just say that the casual type of fans, I don't really know, because it doesn't, you were never going to get multiple first-round picks for Kevin Durant. It just wasn't going to happen. I guess people saw Desmond Bane and saw that he got 4 first-round picks, but once again, he's a role-type player, and that's what you need. Alex Caruso got a first-round pick sent for him, and a decent role player in Josh Giddey. Role players are probably going to get more picks in trades for them. That's just how the NBA is going towards. But yeah, as I said, we'll have a finals reaction video actually probably on Tuesday maybe, and then we might have, I don't know if I'm doing a mock draft yet, depending on how my time schedule is going. We could have a mock draft for the NBA, first round mock draft, so we'll see. Or we could do a video on the Sixers, talk about what I think they should do in the NBA draft. I haven't really talked about that yet. Loads of options of what we can do for these next few videos. So yeah, just stay tuned and make sure you guys subscribe with the post notifications on. Go subscribe to my brother Living Great Blogs. Make sure you guys subscribe to my second channel, Riding the Combat Great. Make sure you guys go follow me on X, on the RTG. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok, on the Great RTG. Make sure you guys go listen to the latest edition of the CR7 podcast. Make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram at Ryan Sully Sports Media. And as always, Ryan the Great out. Peace.